Hey, what's up? This is Gary Swaby, and I'm back for another Reader's Rundown. This Reader's Rundown is about Ernest Cline's Armada. But before we get into it, I just need to plug Redditor a little bit. So make sure you go to the website. That's redditorgroup.com. You can see it right there. And, make sure you sign up to our readers list, which is, a monthly emailing list. And it's not exactly monthly because we do email you a few times a month, not too much. We're not going to spam you or anything like that. But what it is basically we give away a book every month, and that book is our featured book. So throughout the month we'll be posting articles on our blog related to that book, and we'll be giving away a copy of that book to people on our list. And also, at the end of the month, we do a write up of that book, and we allow you to express your opinions of the book as well. In our write up, we'll have a whole section dedicated to quotes from you guys on the readers list. And eventually, these readers rundowns are going to include you guys that are part of the list as well. So, we're going to have a Google Hangout where a bunch of us will be talking about the book that we've read for that month. So that's the plan. Eventually, we're just working our way up to that point. Slowly but surely, we'll get there. So make sure you go to the site and, join our readers list if you like this video. So, Armada, which is our featured book for September. So my thoughts on it. Well, before we get to that, let me explain what it's about. This is the second novel from Ernest Cline, the first one being Ready Player One, which we did our first readers rundown about. So Armada is, it's not a follow-up, it's not a sequel, it's a totally new novel set in, a completely different world. But so the premise of the book, it's about Zach Lightman, who is a teenager, and he lost his dad at an early age. His dad was supposedly killed in an accident. Later on, he realizes certain things about his dad, but the only reference points he has of his dad are, a collection of his dad's things and his writings. Now, his writings make him seem a bit eccentric. He's a bit of a character. He believes in extraterrestrial life and, life from other planets and stuff like that. So Zach grows up thinking that his dad was a bit of a moron, and his mom doesn't really talk about him much, even though she clearly loves him and misses him. She really doesn't talk about him much, and Zach kind of wants to figure out why that's the case, but he doesn't really get to, because he doesn't have another reference point. So Zach's living his life as a normal teenager. He goes to school, gets into fights with bullies and all sorts. He works at an arcade slash video game store part-time. But, one day he sees a spaceship from his favorite video game, Armada. Now, Armada is a video game that him and, dozens of people play, dozens of people that he knows and people worldwide play. It's an online VR type game, and it involves fighting, space invaders, alien life forms from other planets and stuff like that. So eventually, Zach Lightman starts to see spaceships. He catches a glimpse of a spaceship, but he thinks he's going crazy, of course, because you don't just see a spaceship. Like, you're never just going to walk outside and see a spaceship. So he kind of thinks, maybe I just imagined it or something. But then, eventually he sees another one, and they actually come for him. So, at this point, there's a plot twist, and it's revealed that, there's an Earth Defense Alliance, which is an alliance of the different world governments. And they've been planning for an alien invasion for years. And they've kept this from the public in order to not create a panic. And they're actually the creators of the Armada video game. And what they've been doing is training people to participate in the Earth's defense against the alien invaders. So Armada is actually, it's an interactive video game, but at the same time, when you play this game, you're controlling a drone, and the drone is what actually fights the alien invaders. So, you know, you think you're playing a video game, but you're really actually defending Earth, kind of thing. So they've gathered up, you know, some of the best players, and Zach Lightman happens to be one of those players. And, you know, a lot's revealed. There's a lot of plot twists, you know, and I don't want to give away too much. So that's the premise of the story, pretty much. But my gripe is that it takes some time for you to really get to the twists and the moments of excitement in the book. And it's not a bad thing if it takes too long to get to, you know, the plot twist, and, you know, because every book has a plot twist and a point where things start to change and, you know, get a bit more exciting, and a race to the end of the book and everything. And you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing if it takes a while to get there, if you have good characters, you know, to read about. And the problem is that a lot of these characters in Armada are kind of dull. Even Zach Lightman, the protagonist, um, he as a teenager who's into pop culture and video games and stuff, you'd think that he'd be fun to read about, but he's actually pretty dull. Um, and you know, his mother she's not a very believable character, because the way she's portrayed is that, you know, she's a woman's woman, she's, you know, very beautiful, she gets hit on a lot and stuff like that, but she's also a hardcore gamer. Now, of course, I'm not saying that, you know, women like that aren't into video games in real life, because, you know, obviously there are, but it's just that the problem is that everyone in Ernest Cline's world seems to be a hardcore gamer, no matter what, you know, type of person they are. So it kind of makes it seem like everybody's a bit the same. Like there's not enough diversity in the characters in this book, especially compared to Ready Player One. So that's a problem. And when you get to the point where, you know, the other top players of Armada are assembled, a lot of them are the same. Like they don't have any standout personalities or anything like that. It's like the same person pretty much. And even there's a female interest, you know, female love interest for Zach, and she's exactly like Artemis in Ready Player One. Like she's exactly like that character pretty much. So that's my problem. There's not enough diversity in the actual characters, and it's a slow build up. The good thing is that it's a short book, so you know, it doesn't take too long to read through the chapters. So with it being a slow build up, it's kind of helped by the fact that, you know, the book isn't that long itself anyway. But if you compare this to Ready Player One, I don't feel like it stands up to that level of excitement, because that book had me gripped from the jump. This book, you know, it kind of takes a while to really start to feel something about the story and the characters and everything. So that's my only gripe. But, you know, that's no shade, that's no hate to Ernest Cline. He's a great author. I love the themes of his books, and I hope we get a lot more of them. And I respect him as an author. So, you know, if you're into, you know, stuff like that, like video game, pop culture references in your books and fiction, definitely check out Armada and Ready Player One. And, you know, if you're a fan of Ernest Cline, then definitely read it. You know, just don't expect it, you know, to be a book that's going to have you on the edge of your seat, you know, from the get-go. It's a kind of slow build-up book. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Ernest Cline's Armada. We're still taking entries, you know, for people to let us know what they think of Armada. So send an email to info@redditorgroup.com, and we'll, you know, include a collection of quotes from our readers to put in the write-up that's going to go live on Monday. And we're also going to be choosing the next book for October on Monday. So definitely make sure you're checking the website and checking us on Twitter and everything to know what the next book is going to be. So until next time, I'm Gary Swaby. Peace out, people.